Hello, this is a video tutorial for hands-on 3. In this exercise, you'll be able to use the FINPLAN interface and introduce plant data. So you'll continue with the file you created in hands-on 2. To locate this, go to Manage Case Studies on the left here, click on that, and click on Hands-on Case Study, which is this case study over here. You'll see that information has already been filled out for case data. This was what we were doing in hands-on 2. For hands-on 3, we'll need to add in information for plant data, which is this button over here, so we click on that. To input new data, we will click on this green plus symbol, and the screen should appear. So, for plant name, we are assuming that our coal power plant is called Malaysian Coal Power Plant, so we will say MCPP. Our plant type, we are told, is coal, imported coal, so we'll click on this. The status of our plant could be existing, future, or committed. Here we will choose future. And ownership is IPP. In our case, the unit size of the power plant is 500 megawatts, so we will put down 500. Our first operational year is the commissioning year of the plant, so this is 2017. The construction period for the coal plant is 4 years, and the plant life, in our case, is 30 years. It is also possible to model plants selling multiple products like electricity and heat, or electricity and water, etc., where you would have to click like this. But in our case, we will only choose one, which is electricity. So we will leave it like this. And now save your data. Next, we will have to add in data relating to production. Remember to save your data along the way. So in plant data, click on this edit symbol here, and your screen should look like this. We've already filled in plant data, so we have to go to plant production. For this case study, we're assuming that the plant will produce the same quantity of electricity throughout its lifetime. So we'll enter the annual electricity production data as 3,723 gigawatt hours for 2017. So here, in this 2017 box, we'll put down 3,723. And it is important to note that a value entered for 1 year will also be applicable for the subsequent years, as noted here, until a new value is entered for a future year. So now we save our data. And now we will go to operation and maintenance costs. So click on O&M costs in the top bar here. And we will assume operating and maintenance costs will be paid in local currency and amount to 119 million ringgit per year. And this will remain the same for the entire project life. So we'll put down 0 here, as we are only looking at Malaysian ringgit, and we'll put down 119 here. The units are already in million, so we will just have to put down 119. And save our data. And now we will move on to fuel costs. So we'll go click on fuel costs from the top bar over here. Since this power plant uses imported coal, we will need to put fuel costs in the foreign currency. And we are told that the annual fuel cost is 159 million US dollars. So we'll put this in the 2017 box again, and we'll put down 159. The units are also already in millions, so we'll just have to put down 159. And we put down 0 here, as we are not looking at the local currency. And we click on save. We will skip general expenses data, as our hands-on did not give us any information on that, and we will move on to investments. So now we will need to enter data on foreign and local components of the investment costs. So click on investment at the top here, and as you may recall, we have defined the construction period in the general plant data screen as 4 years, with 2017 as the commissioning year, i.e. the first year of operation. So the construction years are shown here: 2013, 2014, 2015, and 2016. So we have 4 years for the construction period. And now, following the hands-on, we will have to enter data on this investment tab. So we're told that we will need 600 million US dollars and 480 million ringgit. We will also need to put down the distribution, which will be 10%, 30%, 40%, and 20% for US dollars. And for Malaysian ringgit, the distribution will be 30%, 30%, 20%, and 20% for the years 2013 to 2016. And now we save our data. Now we move on to sources of financing, which is the next tab over here. So we click on that. Here we can choose US dollar or Malaysian ringgit. So first we will go through our foreign currency. So we will click on US dollar. The page shows annual US dollar needs over the construction years. So for example, in 2013, the foreign currency requirement is $60 million, and in 2014, it is $180 million, and so on. On this screen, there are also 3 options to finance the project's foreign expenditures. So there are 2 types of export credit loans. As you can see, export credit 1 here, and export credit 2 here, and 1 type of project loans, which is over here. So in this case study, we will only assume 1 export credit facility, which will supply 85% of the foreign currency requirement. So we will click on export credit 1, and we'll put down 85% for all of the years. And in our case, the remaining 15% will be met by the project loans. So we will click on project loans and put down 15% for all of the years. And now save our data. So now we have to define the sources of supply of the local currency. So Malaysian ringgit. So we'll click on this drop down menu here and click on Malaysian ringgit. And we can see that, for example, in the year 2013, 144 million ringgit is needed to cover the local construction related expenses. And that is the same for 2014. And in 2015, that will be 96 million, and so on. For this project, we will use equity to pay for the local construction related expenses, and therefore we will leave this blank. So we will leave the project loan option blank. And click on save. So now we have to define various terms related to export credit financing and project loans. So we are still in the sources of financing tab, and we will go back to the US dollar, and we will click on terms of financing here. So this green box over here. And you can see that the amount to be financed through export credit financing is 510 million US dollars. So following the hands-on, we will need to input more data. So for a term, we are told that the loan term is 12 years, so we put down 12. FINPLAN allows 2 types of loan repayment options. The first one is uniform, and the second one is uniform P+I, which includes both principal and interest. So in this example, we will choose uniform P+I. FinPlan also allows two types of interest options. The first one is constant and the second one is floating. Here for this case study, we will click on constant and we will put down a rate of 3.74. And now we save our data. We can also click no for IDC financing option, as our hands-on is not telling us we need IDC financing option. So we can also click on no and we save our data again. And now we go back by clicking on this back arrow here. Note that export credit 2 is also defined in the same way as export credit 1. However, in this case, as we're only using one export credit option, we will ignore export credit 2. We now move on to the next one. So we click on this terms of financing box over here under project loans. So we can see that 90 million US dollars will be financed through project loans. The term again is the number of years for repaying the loan. So for this case study, we are told that it is 8 years. We will choose the floating interest option now. So we'll click on floating. And we are told that there is a spread of 1.5% over the inflation rate. So we'll put down 1.5. And now we save our data. The next box here is depreciation. So we will click on depreciation. So FinPlan allows 4 different types of depreciation. There's linear, sum of the year's digits, declining balance, and declining switching to linear. And these 4 different types of depreciation are explained in the lectures. For this case study, we will click on linear. And we will assume that the plant will depreciate over 20 years. So we put down 20. And we save our data. The last one is decommissioning. So we'll click on that. And we can see that FinPlan allows 2 ways of depositing decommissioning costs, as trust or as a fund. However, in our example, we will not apply a decommissioning cost to our coal power plant, so we will therefore leave this page blank. And well done, that's it. You have now inputted all the required plant data for our illustrative coal power plant. So this is the end of hands-on 3. And we will continue with this FinPlan case study in hands-on 4, where we will input financial data in Financial Manager.